I tell you that I was going to? Then I didn't say anything. So with the habits and the changes, what I was going to challenge you to do was to explore change in the context of habits. And the classic one that we ask you to do may be, well, I remember being asked to do this in my training. I don't know whether we do it or not, is brush your teeth with the opposite hand. So that was meant to be your homework. So you could maybe we spend 10 minutes imagining brushing, holding the toothbrush in the opposite hand. I don't mean brushing your teeth with your hand. That would be weird. That would be really non-habitual, wouldn't it? Yeah. You do that when you're backpacking, don't you? And you can't get your toothbrush out. You put toothpaste on your fingers. Anyway, not that. Holding the toothbrush in the opposite hand. Calculator. I'm just repeating it for the thing. Taught yourself to use the calculator left hand. Yeah, I've tried with the mouse, and I want to throw it against the wall. Yeah. I can't think. You could do that. Oh, right. Put it. Not permanently, just the way you put it on. Yeah, put it on somewhere different. There's a whole bunch of ways you can just, in a fun way, explore what it's like to shift from one habit to another. It could be walking to work in a different way. I did that for a couple of years because I walk to work and I live on one corner of the city square, which is not a square, and walk diagonally. So there's lots of laneways. So and I just sort of thought, right, I'm going to explore all the permutations, and set little formulae. And of course, the way that I motivated myself. So this tells you a lot about my relationship to change. I had to superimpose on that exploration the task of finding a new coffee shop every week, which is possible. I counted there's about 60 in the grid between me and work. How do we motivate for change is another thing. Reward is good. Anyway, so that's change. So that's your homework. So tonight, that could be it. Something benign and something physical. You can challenge yourself with something else like, I'm a big picture person, not a details person. So every now and again, I'd like to really get stuck into detail. For example, most of the time I just choose to work with people who do detail. That's my strategy. But, sometimes it's just good to challenge. Or, I'm cultivating introversion. It's working. I can do it. I can be introverted. Anyway, those sorts of, so you can start playing around with it in many different domains. But start with something quite physical, like brushing your teeth. It is extremely automatic. Like you will have a very stereotypical pattern the way you brush your teeth, and your dentist could probably describe it to you because he or she will see it in the marks on your teeth and the way your gums are and all that sort of stuff. So it will be quite embodied, let's say. Okay, so let's begin with an ATM. Oh, Lockie, I've got an apology early on. We're going to have an ATM straight after lunch, sorry. However, so I've obviously been referencing to Moshe Feldenkrais a lot. However, his voice hasn't been in the room. So Zoran and Jenny and I were talking, and we thought there's two things that we would like you to experience, and they coalesce with the bowels, the students in the bowels, as we call them. We're in the cranial vault, and they're in the bowels. Just to somatically reference us. So we're going to go down to the bowels at 1:45. So at the end of lunch, we'll meet downstairs, right downstairs, you know what I'm talking about, where the other training is, and we'll do an ATM with them. However, we had to put it straight after lunch because that's the only way we kind of coalesce the times easily in this, well, not the only way, but the easiest way. So that will be today. So it's a lesson that you're familiar with, hopefully. Most of you should be familiar with. And it's one that he teaches quite clearly. So that's one. Okay. you can take your mat. Yeah, it's not a roly-poly lesson, so you don't. Yeah, but at least take your blanket or towel or something. The carpet will be will be your constant. It's the same carpet down there. So this rather unique pattern will become imprinted on you. Okay.